Welcome back. This is Dr. Danielle again, and we'll finish this series on tapping. This was just an introduction with a couple of little examples of what you can tap on. I do workshops and webinars. I've done that for 12 years on learning the tapping techniques in depth. In the 40 years that I have studied the mind, there is nothing that came close to the simplicity and effectiveness of these tapping techniques. It sounds very silly, doesn't it? Just tapping and, headaches, fears, phobias, they all seem to vanish. It's just because we haven't worked on that energy system that we have. There are blockages from our childhood, from genetic, from different things. And by doing the tapping, we remove these blockages. That's why they are so effective. Now, there are different things that you can tap on that we haven't talked about. Post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, is what happens to people who have been shocked by traumatic events, like veterans who have gone to war and have seen people blown up or wounded or killed in front of their eyes, who themselves have been shot, have lost a leg, and thankfully they haven't lost their life, but they have psychological trauma. The tapping techniques is a very unique and powerful technique to help them live a life of meaning and fulfillment again. However, I would advise that they work with somebody who is well versed in the tapping technique and in post-traumatic stress. I'm also talking to women who have been raped or abused, who have seen their children raped and abused. Post-traumatic stress disorder is actually not a disorder. Psychologists and psychiatrists now would like to rename the post-traumatic stress disorder in simply post-traumatic stress. It is not a disorder. It is a normal reaction to an abnormal event. So don't feel bad if you have flashbacks and have a hard time living after you've been shocked or been traumatized. It is a normal reaction that your body-mind is having. But you can get rid of the PTSD. I've suffered from PTSD for many years, and now I don't anymore. I'm not afraid of flashbacks. I know what to do if I occasionally get one, but it's getting very, very rare. So post-traumatic stress disorder is something you can get rid of. I would suggest that you work with somebody who is well-versed in the tapping techniques, somebody who is well-versed in trauma and understand it. If you want to, you can email me and I either will help you directly or find somebody who can help you. Besides that, you can help animals. I've worked with horses, I worked with cats, I work with dogs. They respond very well to the tapping technique. How do you do that? Well, you can either tap on them directly. I like to tap on their forehead and on their chest, stating a problem. Or you can work on yourself, thinking about the animal. You can do the same with babies. If you have a screaming baby in the airport, maybe you want to gently tap on yourself for the baby. Even though this poor baby is crying, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though you are crying, little baby, love yourself. You're okay. You don't have to say I deeply and completely love and accept myself when you're working with children. One of my clients had multiple personalities, and all of a sudden in the middle of a session she switched to being a 5-year-old, and she was really 50 years old. And all of a sudden I had that 5-year-old in front of me, and I was still thinking I was with a 50-year-old doing, even though I have this problem, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And she looked at me and said, huh? Say, oops, she switched. She was that little 5-year-old hiding under the bed and scared. So I had to change my vocabulary, and that's perfectly okay to change the wording. So even though you're so scared, you're okay. And eventually we were able to take that little 5-year-old back up to the 50-year-old. It was an interesting process. Anyway, the tapping technique, tap on anything. Try it on everything. And let me know how successful you are, or if you have questions, email me. My email is at the end of this video. Next time, we'll talk about mental fitness training techniques. I'll see you soon.